I did not open the door, not because I was brave, because I saw the key in his hand. My key. The man outside stood perfectly still, holding it between two fingers like he wanted me to see it clearly. Behind him, the man in the police jacket looked straight into the peephole. Not at the door, not at the hallway, at me. As if he knew I was watching. "Open the door," he said again. "We're here to help." I stepped back without making a sound. The old phone was still on the table. Its cracked screen glowed in the dark apartment. Locker 1142. "Take the memory card. Leave before midnight." I looked at the clock. 11:53 p.m. 7 minutes. The knock came again. 3 slow knocks. This time, I did not wait. I grabbed the old phone, the memory card, the envelope, and the photo. Then I moved toward the kitchen window. My apartment was on the second floor. Not high, but high enough to break something if I slipped. The rain had made the metal fire escape wet and black. Behind me, the key turned in the lock. Slowly, I froze. The chair under the handle scraped against the floor as the door pushed inward. Someone was unlocking my apartment. I climbed out of the window before the door opened. The fire escape shook under my weight. Below me, the alley was empty. No cars, no people. Only rain, trash bins, and the yellow light from a broken street lamp. I climbed down as fast as I could. Halfway down, I heard my apartment door open, then footsteps inside. I did not look back. When my feet hit the ground, I ran. I had no plan, no weapon, no one to call, only a cracked phone, a memory card, and an address that could be a trap. Central Station, Locker 1142. But I did not go to Central Station that night. That was the first smart thing I did. I left before midnight, just like the note said. But I waited until morning. For the next 6 hours, I stayed in places where no one stayed long. A bus stop, a closed pharmacy doorway, the back corner of a 24-hour cafe. I kept moving, not fast enough to look scared, not slow enough to be followed. Every taxi that passed made my chest tighten. Every dark car window felt like an eye. At 6:17 a.m., I was sitting in a small cafe across from Central Station, wearing the same wet jacket, holding a paper cup of coffee I never drank. Outside, the city was waking up. Buses hissed at the curb. People hurried to work. A woman laughed into her phone. A man dropped coins near a ticket machine. Everything looked normal. That made it worse, because now I understood something. They did not need darkness. They did not need empty streets. They could hide in daylight, too. I placed the old phone on the table. The screen was black. No messages. No calls. No strange files. Just a dead, cracked phone. For a moment, I almost believed it was over. Then I looked across the street. Central Station was full of people. Office workers, students, taxi drivers, security guards, cameras above every entrance. If they were watching me, they could be anyone. The cleaner, the man reading the newspaper, the woman pretending to wait for someone, even the guard. Especially the guard. I waited until the cafe became busy enough for me to disappear into the morning crowd. Then I crossed the street. Central Station was louder in daylight. Announcements echoed from the ceiling. Suitcases rolled over the floor. Children cried. Phones rang. Shoes moved in every direction. At night, fear is easy to see. In daylight, fear has to hide. And mine was hiding behind my face. I kept my head down and walked toward the lower platform. The lockers were near the old ticket machines. Rows and rows of gray metal doors, some scratched, some broken. Some covered with stickers from cities I had never visited. I walked slowly, reading the numbers. 1136, 1137, 1138, 1139, 1141. Then I saw it. 1142. The locker door was open, not wide, just a few centimeters, like someone had opened it before I arrived. I stopped. My first thought was simple, run. My second thought was worse. They wanted me to see it open. I looked around. A man in a gray coat was buying a ticket. A teenage girl was leaning against a pillar with headphones on. A security camera above me moved slowly from left to right. I could not tell if it was watching the station or watching me. The old phone vibrated in my pocket. A new note appeared. "Do not stand there." I looked up. Across the station, near the stairs, a man in a dark cap was looking directly at me. He was not the taxi driver, not the man from my hallway. Someone new. When our eyes met, he looked away too late. I opened locker 1142. Inside there was no bag, no money, no weapon, only 3 things: a small audio recorder, an old Metro card, and another envelope. This envelope had my name on it, not printed, handwritten. I did not touch it at first. My name looked wrong there, like it belonged to someone already missing. The old phone vibrated again. Do not read it here. Too late. I opened the envelope. Inside was a single page. At the top, someone had written, Passenger Transfer Protocol. Under it was a list of numbers. Passenger 1, Passenger 2, Passenger 3, Passenger 4, Passenger 5, Passenger 6, Passenger 7, Passenger 8. Each number had a date, a time, and a location. I recognized one of them immediately. Passenger 7. The gas station. The young man from the first video. Next to Passenger 8, there was no name. Only one word. Pending. My hand started shaking. I folded the paper and placed it inside my jacket. Then I took the audio recorder. There was one file on it. I pressed play. For a moment, there was only static. Then the young man's voice came through. The same voice from the old phone. But this recording was clearer. If you found the locker, then you made it out. A long breath. That means they failed to take the phone back. He paused. I don't know your name. I don't know who you are. But I know what they do. In the background of the recording, I could hear traffic, maybe a road, maybe the inside of a car. They choose people who are alone, people coming home late, people who won't be missed for a few hours. Another pause. The phone is not evidence. It is bait. I stopped breathing. The recorder continued. They leave it where the next person will find it. In a taxi, on a bench, in a station, anywhere that feels accidental. My eyes moved to the open locker. To them, every person who picks it up becomes part of the chain. A loud sound cracked through the recording. The young man whispered now, If you still have the memory card, do not give it to anyone wearing a police jacket. I looked around the station. There were 2 real police officers near the main entrance. A security guard near the ticket machines. A man in a dark jacket standing too close to the stairs. I did not know who was real. I did not know who was pretending. The recording continued. There are real police involved, but not all of them. That is the problem. Then he said something that made my blood turn cold. Passenger 8 is not the person holding the phone. I looked down at the paper again. Passenger 8, pending. The phone chooses the witness, but they choose the passenger. The recorder clicked, then the last part played. If they came to your apartment, they already know your family. Check the people closest to you. Start with the last person who texted you. My brother. The message from earlier flashed in my mind. Are you okay? I took out my own phone. There were 3 missed calls from my brother. Then one new message. Why is there a taxi outside my building? I called him immediately. No answer. I called again. No answer. Then the old phone lit up. A video call was coming in. No number, no name, just one word. Passenger. I stared at it. My finger hovered over the screen. The call ended before I answered. Then a video file appeared. Passenger 8, live feed. I opened it. The screen showed a street, a familiar street, my brother's building, but it was daylight. People were walking past. A delivery bike stopped near the curb. A woman entered the building with grocery bags, and across the road, a black taxi was parked with its headlights off. The camera angle was from the other side of the street. Someone was watching the entrance. And then my brother appeared on screen. He stepped out of the building wearing a gray hoodie, holding his phone, looking confused. I whispered his name, but he could not hear me. The taxi door opened. No driver got out, just the back door. Like someone inside was waiting. My brother stopped. He looked down at his phone. Then he looked toward the taxi. A message appeared on the old phone. Tell him not to get in. I called my brother again. This time he answered. Where are you? I asked. At home, he said. But on the video, I watched him standing in the street. No, I said. You're outside. There was silence. Then he whispered. How do you know that? The black taxi's headlights turned on. I heard the sound through my brother's phone. Real. Close. He turned toward it. Listen to me, I said. Do not get in that taxi. He laughed once, but it sounded nervous. What taxi? On the live feed, the taxi was directly behind him, but he could not see it. Then I understood. The video was not live. It was delayed, maybe by a minute, maybe less. I shouted into the phone. Run back inside now. The old phone vibrated again. Another message. You are watching what already happened. My brother's voice came through my own phone. Calm. Too calm. I'm in the elevator. The live feed showed him still outside. The delay was longer than I thought, or one of the feeds was fake. I did not know which screen to believe. Then I heard a sound behind me. 3 slow knocks. Not from a door. From inside locker 1142. I stepped back. The locker was open, empty. But the knocking came from the metal wall behind it. 3 slow knocks. The people around me did not react. No one looked up. No one heard it. Only me. Then the locker next to it clicked open. 1143. Inside was a black taxi receipt. Fresh, still dry. At the bottom, written by hand, was my brother's name. The old phone displayed one final message. Passenger 8 has been confirmed. I looked toward the station entrance. The man in the dark cap was gone. The security guard was gone. The 2 police officers were gone. Only the crowd remained. Normal people, normal faces, normal daylight. Then every screen in the station changed at once. The ticket machines, the arrival boards, the advertising screens, all of them showed the same time, 11:42. But it was morning. The city outside was bright. The station was full of people, and still somehow every screen showed 11:42. Then the lights went out.